too much.
I'm sorry, I took and hit the button, so I had to restart this video again. So he's going to have to tell you everything he done did. Okay, let me move the button off the record so you know again. Once again,
I have some basic Alfredo sauce. If you ever seen me make this on some of my channels, it's nothing but butter and flour. You get the roux started. To get the roux started, you put butter and flour in the pan. You let the butter cook on low heat, kind of like bubble up a little bit, and let it cook to like maybe about 5 minutes or so, just to cook the flour taste out. Then you start adding the cream. Once it comes to a boil, it'll begin to thicken up. Use some little bit of white pepper, Parmesan cheese, and I use like a little tiny bit of the chicken stock in there, just so like the tip of a tablespoon on there, just to add a little bit of extra flavor to that Alfredo sauce. And then as it boils, it'll thicken itself up. Also, what I have here is, of course, the famous U10 shrimps. These are nice sized tiger shrimp. And I have some tortellinis in the pot cooking. Bring them up to a boil, get them nice and tender. Once they start to float, you'll know that they're done. Then I also have about 4 tablespoons of green peas and a little bit of sun-dried tomatoes. Man, magic. They teleported. Some sun-dried tomatoes. I got maybe about 4 or 5 of them. Slice them up into little baby strips, because it doesn't need that many. Just a little bit to flavor the dish once I get it going.
and after you open this jar, you make sure you refrigerate, because it says refrigerate at the opening.
So I got about 1 pound of tortellini, cheese tortellinis in the pot. Waiting for that to come back up to a boil. I'm going to take a little pan here. I'm going to get this one heated up. A little bit of butter on the door. Door.
Look, I got the camera. I'm bending. I got the camera all over the place. Hand me the tortellini section. Yeah, we're working it today. We didn't intend on doing the video, but we did one.
Cheese tortellinis.
From our local ShopRite.
It's a 2-pound bag, run about $6 at ShopRite. I cooked half the bag, which is a 2-pound bag, so I cooked half of it, so it's a pound of them.
And that's what you have over here. Now we got those cooking up. Remember, you always add a little bit of peas just for color.
And then in my pan, I'm going to use a little bit of EVO, just about a tablespoon and a half.
Do you know what that is?
Extra virgin olive oil.
That was a test for them to see if they be listening.
Oh, okay, well, EVO. And a little bit of butter. Bam, right in there like that. I'm going to let that melt down.
Your sauce boiling.
Sauce is fine. Sauce is good. The more it boils, the thicker it gets. That's the best. That lets you know it's getting to where it needs to be. You see it has a nice consistency to it. You see when it touches the side of the pan, it coats it. That means it's really at the right texture, but I'm just going to let it go ahead on and finish cooking. Meanwhile, I'm letting this oil heat up here. And I'm going to toss those tiger shrimp right in there with a little pinch of garlic.
Kind of garlic.
Minced garlic, but I'll use on every dish. I love that minced garlic. Really healthy for you. I'm going a good tablespoon is all you need. Bam. Right in there. Let them see what that look like. Okay. Garlic toss around in there with that butter and that olive oil. Then I'm going to start laying these prongs in here. People call them prongs, shrimp. You call them what you want. They're tiger shrimp, U10s. U10s are under 20s. Those right in there like that. Discard this. I'm going to hit that with a A little bit of Old-Bay seasoning. A little bit of paprika. And a little bit of black pepper. I'm not going to use any salt because the Old Bay has enough salt seasoning that I want in this dish. There you go, the pepper. There you go. And that's all she wrote on the seasoning.
We didn't have him on here cleaning the shrimp, but he can explain to you how he cleaned the shrimp.
Well, what you do is you split them down the middle. You split them down the middle with the shell, and you pull the shell back and peel the whole shell off. That's pretty much all you're doing. Normally, if you've seen some of my other channels, I take those shrimp shells and I normally boil them in the same season I just seasoned these with, and I make my own seafood broth. But today I'm not using anything that I need that broth with, so I let them discard. As you can see, the tortellinis are starting to float. You can see them starting to lift up off the bottom there. So we're going to let that come to a good boil. Prongs cook pretty fast, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse these heats. I'm going to put these on the back burner, pull that down to a simmer, crank this front up so they can boil and hurry up and get on the top where they belong. As you can see, they're starting to lift. This is how you know when tortellinis are done. They float. Like balloons. They float. They all float.
So your sauce over there.
I got that. Coming at you.
So what is this dish called?
Tortellini Alfredo. Shrimp tortellini Alfredo.
So that's what we're having tonight. Shrimp tortellini Alfredo.
Don't need that anymore. I'm going to go ahead and add the peas and the sun-dried tomatoes to the sauce. There you go. Rolling bada bang. That's all that takes. I'm going to flip my shrimp one more time. These cook pretty fast. They're pretty much done already, but I just want to get that heat on the other side one more time before I go ahead and incorporate these into my Alfredo sauce. And then I'm going to string my tortellini and dump them right in there. Normally with a couple quick tosses, it's all ready to roll. I need this. Have all that in my pitcher. The tortellinis are doing what they're supposed to do. As you can see, they're floating. At a nice boil consistency. I'm going to go ahead and shut.
Oh, I thought you was cutting the raw.
I'm going to shut the tortellinis off. And I'm going to strain them. I'm going to not run water on them because I want them to stay hot. There you go. Let that water drain off of those. Hit this Alfredo one more time with a stir. You want to use fresh raw green peas because you want them to have that nice snappy green flavor to them. Okay, now watch yourself. Here it comes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these green peas. I'm going to add these tortellini to these peas and sun-dried tomatoes. As you can see how this could look. There you have it. See the little pieces of sun-dried tomato in there? There's my magic chef is over there flipping the shrimp again.
They look flippable to me.
They're done.
I cut them up a little bit.
Huh? They done. I don't know cook them. You want to cook them? I got my spatula thing.
Let me show you what this look like.
This is that tortellini with sun-dried tomatoes and peas in there. That's what it looks like. Just a little bit of peas, just for a little color. You don't want to. You're not making peas. See them sun-dries in there? That's done. I gotta get this shrimp out. I'm gonna cook my food. Now we're gonna take those shrimp right out of there. Pop them right in there with that Alfredo sauce. You want to mix those in. That is it. That's tortellini Alfredo.
Shrimp, tortellini, Alfredo.
Right. And I'm going to show you what that looks like on a plate. As I move some of these utensils out of my way. Now, I'm going to get a big scoop. Let me rinse that off real fast. And this is what it looks like plated.
Not a lot. He be trying to feed me a whole lot. It's still early. It's only 4:45.
See them nice huge pieces of shrimp in there? The sun-dried tomatoes and those peas. Voila! That's what it looked like. When it's all said and done. Restaurant quality home cooking. Tortellini, Alfredo, with shrimp and peas. A little bit of sun-dried tomato.
Thanks for watching. Enjoy.